Really, the only change we have is, let's see, Darrell Young was full practice today. He wasn't limited. He was full practice today. Other than that, everybody else was the same. Kedrick did not participate. Deshaun, Hakeem Jordan, Tracy Porter, Jordan Reed, they all did not participate. Limited was Kai Forbath, and then full go was Roy, Sean, and Arakpo, and then Corey Lichtensteiger. He was limited today.
What's your level of optimism or concern about Deshaun and Jordan, their availability?
You know what? I have a level. It's about right here. It's we just have to wait and see. Injuries, I try not to get too excited or too down on anything, but I just let the injuries play out, let the player honestly let me know how he's doing and the trainer, and then just go from there. But for predicting injuries, I try not to do that. So we're just going to wait and see, and tomorrow will be a better gauge of where they are.
With Deshaun, we saw him going about maybe even half speed, catching a couple balls and individuals. Do you anticipate he'll be able to do more tomorrow? You had talked yesterday that you would hope.
Yeah, we're hoping so. We're going to challenge him, push him a little bit more tomorrow, and we'll see where he's at. But he's still a little sore, but I think he's getting better, and the range of motion's better. So, it's an injury where I think a couple more days will do him a lot of good.
What was Corey's injury?
Groin.
Oh.
Is Deshaun's injury the type of thing that can linger at all? Like, is it something where you'd have to worry about it? Like, like a hamstring, you have to worry about it lingering?
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I don't know. I've had them before. It still hurts. But, I think a lot of it is just pain tolerance, some of it. And the big thing is to make sure he gets his range of motion, But as far as doing more damage to it, I don't have to ask the trainer on that one, but I think he'll be okay. He wears shoulder pads. He'll be all right. Exactly right, yeah.
I don't want to look too far ahead here, but you're on the short week next week. Do you guys do anything this week to get yourselves ready or set up for that?
We did some work on the Giants in the off season and try to prepare for this short week and try to get a game plan somewhat together. And then we'll, obviously check out and see what they're doing in the first 3 games and go from there. But we have done some work on the Giants already. It's been on file, but we'll have to just, go faster on Monday, really, and try to get the whole game plan together by Monday evening.
Jay, what are the biggest challenges you found in your career, whether it be playing any level, coaching, just even watching from afar, when it comes to being a backup quarterback?
Well, the toughest thing is as most quarterbacks' mentality goes, they all want to compete and they all want to play, and not being able to play is the toughest thing. And you're standing there and you're watching the other guy practice, you're standing on the sidelines on game day, and you're seeing what you would have done and thinking what you would have done, and dang, if it was my turn, I would have done this. And that's the most frustrating thing, the most difficult thing for a quarterback. And not to mention is to try to get all the mental reps. You're not getting many of the reps, like I mentioned yesterday. So not being able to play and then not getting the reps, that's very frustrating for guys that have a lot of talent. And they just have to sit and be patient, wait their turn, and be pros and learn. And when their number's called, then they got to be ready to produce.
Jay, when you look at, the Eagles' screen game as an offensive guy, what impresses you about it? And how much is it talent versus what they do to a defense?
That's a little bit of both. They've got great talent. They've got a great scheme. They go really fast. They have great drop-back passes, play-action passes, and, of course, the running game. And then they throw the screens at you, the receiver screens and the halfback screens. And they do a great job. And sometimes defenses play them extremely well. But the big thing is some of those screens, when they hit for gigantic chunks of yards, and that's the one thing we have to guard against. It's one thing having them hit for 6 or 7 yards or 5 yards, but when they hit for 40 and 50 yards, those are the ones that really put a dagger in your heart. So we just got to do a good job and know where they are and do the best we can of pursuing and taking good angles and wrapping up and keeping our eyes open, because both those guys are excellent in space with obviously all the moves that they make on defensive players. Yeah, I think we'll play it by ear. I think tomorrow we'll get a good look at him, see how he's doing. And then on game day, when he gets in, the pregame warm-up, we'll see how he's doing. And then out in the game, there's no guarantee. Even if he does dress it, he has to play the whole game. He can play 20, 30 plays. Maybe it's 60. I don't know yet. We'll just have to gauge and see how he's doing. And he's going to be honest about it. I know he wants to play and he wants to compete against the Eagles, obviously, but he also knows that we have other guys that can do a better job than him if he's injured. So he's got to understand that. But he's still got a few good days left to get this thing right, and we'll see where he is.
Kendrick's banged up. Who knows if he's going to play? Who else stands out to you on that Eagles defense? Is it Fletcher Cox, or is it still Cole to you, or anybody else?
Cole, I like. There's a couple of guys that stand out, but Fletcher Cox has done a great job. Cole's done an excellent job, and I think, the corners have done a nice job. They compete and they battle for the ball, and they've got a good team, good scheme defensively, and they've been very impressive. And Brandon Graham comes off the bench; he provides a good pass rush. So they had a good combination of players, good scheme, and they play really hard and take advantage of some miscues by the offense.
Are you able to gauge a calmness in Kurt, knowing that there's just no drama and he's the guy right now? Are you able to gauge if he's just looking more poised or just comfortable right now out of practice?
Well, we're throwing a lot of looks at him today that he hasn't really seen last couple of days, and he's handled them pretty well. And he is a very poised, composed individual. How that translates on game day, he's played one game for me, and I was very impressed with his attention to detail and his poise on game day. So hopefully that translates into next week and the week after that. So, I think his quarterback demeanor as far as awareness, poise, all that seem to be top-notch, but time will tell. Different situations, being behind, third down, how he handles the red zone, all that, playing on the road. That can do wonders to a quarterback or do damage to a quarterback, depending on how you look at it. So we'll see how he does with the composure area come Sunday.
What challenge of being a backup quarterback? How does the challenge change when you become the starter and now all of a sudden the defense is game planning for you and not someone else, and it's like a little bit less of a pinch hitting type situation?
Yeah, it's different every week. That's the thing about being a quarterback in this league is every defense poses different issues for you, and it's every week it's something different. You're going to see a different blitz, a different coverage. And it's something you just got to continue to be flexible in your train of thought and your thinking and your approach to the game. The game evolves every week. Every week something new comes up. So he's got to understand that. We have different plays. There's different coverages, different blitzes, all that. So how he handles adversity, how he handles change, how he adjusts to things will be how he is, on a consistent basis. So time will tell on that. We're waiting to see. All of us are.
Ryan Grant had looked good in the preseason, and then last week he looked kind of like the same guy. Were you surprised at all by his ability to continue to perform that way, or is that what you expected out of him?
Yeah, I don't know why. I've been a big Ryan Grant fan since the first day he walked in here. He's very poised. He's been very detailed in his routes, and he's got big, strong hands. And does not give any indicators whatsoever where he's going. And he runs every route. I called him clinic today. He runs every route like a clinic tape. So very good. But he's still young. He's still learning, and he may make a rookie mistake here or there, but he hasn't made many since he's walked through our doors. So he's been very impressive to me. And that's what I'm talking about. If Deshaun, is struggling a little bit with his shoulder, I do not hesitate one bit. Ryan Grant will play, and Andre will play out there, and of course we have Eldrick. So we're pretty well covered at that spot.
Is that kind of like a high pedigree coming out to have him do that well and be that polished so far?
It's unusual, but it's not uncommon. It happens. We had one in Cincinnati. Marvin Jones was a later round pick and performed very well. And there's been other rookies that have performed well. A Jacksonville kid last week, he had a great game week one as a rookie free agent. So it happens. Guys come in and they take advantage of the reps like Ryan has, and they perform, and they continue to carry it over into preseason games and then the regular season games. Doesn't happen very often, but it does.
Some of the communication issues that Kirk will face, at the line of scrimmage, play calls, whatever. Are you planning on pumping in any noise tomorrow for practice at all in that environment? And do you expect that the communication, some of the
we
things
work on all our different snap counts out here today, and then tomorrow we'll do the noise. And Saturday we'll do a little bit of noise, so we'll work on that. And that's definitely a part of the game that people underestimate how important it is, and that gave us problems in Houston a little bit. We had the fumbled exchange. We dove and fumbled the ball at the 5-yard line. We had another fumbled snap. So that can play a major part in your offense if you don't take care of it. So we have to work different type of cadences, and that'll be taken care of, hopefully.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.